Imagine a world where the cities we know are underwater. And what used to be the ocean is now a barren wasteland. This is a world where every piece of water and land has suddenly switched places. Cities like New York and Paris would find themselves underwater. Tsunamis would come rushing into the cities, destroying everything. And if you're on a boat, you'd find yourself falling down into a dry ocean bed. The Amazon would be flooded, and ancient diseases would come back to life. This is what if, and here's what would happen. One of the more unexpected changes we would see in this scenario would be significant climate change. This would be because of changing weather patterns and changing ocean currents. And because this dramatic change is happening overnight, we won't have time to prepare for it. But what if we knew this massive switch was coming ahead of time? Would there be anything we could do to stop it? Well, to answer that, let's take a look at our own climate issues that we're dealing with on Earth right now. Climate change is causing global sea levels to rise at an alarming rate, leaving some of the world's biggest cities, like London and Bangkok, facing significant threats within a few decades if we don't do anything to stop it. With this much advance notice, you'd think that everyone would be taking action to prevent this grim future, but as we all know, that's not the case. Some people won't believe or care about climate change until they're faced with an extreme situation like the one we're talking about today. But many people do want to help and make a difference. They just don't know how. Well, I might have just the solution. Say hello to Solar Slice, the startup company making it easy for you to make a real difference in the fight against climate change. Solar Slice lets you directly fund large-scale solar farms. With their app, you can track your energy production and carbon savings and even earn rewards to further support other climate initiatives. Here's how it works. First, you sponsor a slice of their large-scale solar farm, adding 50 watts of clean energy to the grid and reducing harmful emissions. Then, you can use their app to track your impact with real-time data on your slice's energy production and carbon savings. You earn eco-points as your slices generate clean energy, points you can use to buy more slices, plant more trees, or fund more meaningful initiatives. Solar Slices offer eco-conscious solutions to prevent future disasters. And, if you want to expand your impact even further, you can share your progress with others, create group initiatives with friends, or send Solar Slices as eco-conscious gifts. To learn more, visit solarslice.com. You'll find a link to their Kickstarter campaign, which will help fund the construction of their first solar farm and the development of their app. With the help of Solar Slice, we've got a chance to prevent a future where our cities are swallowed by rising seas. The people in our story, on the other hand, might not be so lucky. Okay. It's safe to say that water and land switching places would be the start of a new mass extinction. Your cities, towns, and any bit of dry land are now covered with water. Water now covers 21% of the globe, and land covers the other 79%. That means we'll have new oceans. We've now got the North American Ocean, the South American Ocean, and the European, African, and Asian oceans, all connected by narrow channels of water. And a new super-large continent. In cities, people might have run into skyscrapers to save themselves from drowning. They'll be looking outside, wondering when the waters are going to recede. Unfortunately, the answer is never. Because in our new world, water is here to stay on the old land. In this scenario, there would be two kinds of unlucky people. First, the ones who were outside on dry land and couldn't swim. They would have drowned immediately. The second group are the ones who lived far away from any kind of water. Because now, they would be surrounded by water, with no ability to get to land. Unless they had a boat stored somewhere. Maybe you'd be one of the lucky ones. If you lived in a coastal city, say, like New York, the Hudson River would now be bone dry. Maybe you'd grab a tire inner tube, put on your swimsuit and a backpack, and swim out to the dry river bed. Now, what about the animals? Well, unfortunately, marine life would be toast. Or soggy toast. If all the water suddenly disappeared from lakes, rivers, and oceans, fish would be left gasping for air and would die almost instantly. River beds and dried-up oceans would be piled up with the carcasses of dead marine animals. No more whales, sharks, or any kind of fish. Say goodbye to sushi. Now, on the bright side, looking at this new world of ocean floors might be a fascinating experience. After all, maps of oceans here on Earth are less detailed than the maps we've made of Mars. Scientists find 2,300 new ocean species every year. If we didn't have the water to stop us, we'd find hundreds of thousands of new species. Unfortunately, they'd all be dead. And animals in forests might have it even worse. Instead of a swift death, they might be left to suffer. Big cats like tigers and lions would be forced to climb up into trees. They might find themselves sharing the canopy with apes. Other animals like zebras and giraffes would be carried away by the current and drown. Some of our land animals would survive, and others would go extinct. But regardless of who makes it out alive, ecosystems would be savagely altered. But there are two species that would do particularly well in this scenario. The first are the reptiles. Crocodiles, turtles, alligators. They're used to living on both water and land. And as they generally hang out in water close to land, they won't have to crawl far to find a new habitat. It'll be right next door. The second group that'll do great is insects. 66 million years ago, when the Chicxulub impactor hit Earth and the planet was full of dead, decaying matter, insects had a feast. Count on a repeat of that scenario as insects jump on anything that's rotting. The bad news. With swarms of mosquitoes, diseases like malaria are likely to break out among humans. Now, besides insects swarming everywhere, the other major problem in our new switched world is that there's no electricity. With power plants